My biggest win with the journey has been that inner peace and just that fundamental knowing that I've got full purpose and a great deal more happiness.
That was amazing for me and actually for my whole family. Allowed us to keep this open mind on life and to open to all the opportunities.
Have so much more freedom and self-connection and health and vibrancy. I just feel more alive.
The journey helped me to understand what my emotions are, not to be scared of them.
It changed my life. It cleared all blocks and brought into my consciousness what my heart's desire was.
Now I feel my life is easier. I feel stronger. I feel what I feel and find a new solution.
Be free from burden on my shoulders. I live in the moment now, and I'm open to my emotions from the highest to the lowest.
Until the journey, I didn't really know that I could get to the same depths without using any substance. It's getting easier and easier to connect to the deepest part of myself.
Probably the biggest improvement is my inner life, or my inner freedom to be as myself, in myself, not being a victim of circumstances and the other people.
The journey has really been a second chance in life for me, having permission to dive deep and find out who the real authentic me was and just to be that person. It's been wonderful.
When you listen to yourself and when you really touch your soul, something magical happens.
Life is different because of the journey. I feel I have all the tools to face whatever life throws at me. Life has become fun.
My biggest win was feeling a broken heart, and not once, many times. I would never have been able to be in the position that I am in now had it not been for the journey.
Befriending myself in really accepting who I am, that I am perfectly imperfect and I don't need fixing.
I've gained so much. So there is no one big win. If it had to be named as one thing, I would just say it's life-changing.
It's changed my world, it's changed my life, it's changed me. And it's allowed me to be open and vulnerable and completely transparent.
My biggest win as a result of using the journey would definitely be my ability to network and expand upon the goals that I've had for such a long period of time.
My biggest win since attending the Journey Intensive has been finding myself. It has been healing, transforming.
I am just so much more receptive and open to whatever God has planned for me. At the very core of me, being able to experience that peace has been priceless.
Come on. I'm here now. Good evening and a wonderful welcome. Thank you very much for your patience. We always like to give a few more minutes to let everybody arrive. And I hope everybody can hear me now. And a heartfelt welcome. And it's so lovely to see all the messages coming in, sometimes with weather reports and sometimes just a hello. But it looks like we have a huge group here from the Netherlands today. So welcome to all our Dutchies here from Germany, from France, from Belgium, from South Africa, from Canada, from the States. Literally Finland, Scandinavia, my goodness, I had to write it down, Slovakia, Czech Republic, so pretty much all across Europe. So really welcome to everyone here. My name's Gabby Burt. I'm International Managing Director for The Journey, have been with Brandon and The Journey for 27 years. And it's a huge privilege to introduce these special evenings we have once a month, and we call them discovery sessions. They are live with Brandon. Yes, she's here in person, and we are actually uncovering how these how our most painful emotions can actually lead us to deep inner healing and peace. And that is something that I wish the whole world would know, because we do absolutely everything to avoid emotions, and yet these are the biggest gateway to healing, to our soul, to coming home. And in our session tonight, we get a good taste of that. And also what I would like to say, we are translating here tonight into 3 languages, German, French, and Czech. And in the bottom of your toolbar, you will have a globe. And if you click on the globe, you can get simultaneous translation. There are some real people, not AI. There is no ChatGPT there that does the translation. There are real people translating for you and for Brandon. And also for everyone here, there is the opportunity also to win a free place. So there is a lottery for the very next Journey Intensive coming up. So one person will be a lucky winner and get a free place at the upcoming Journey Intensive. And I come back to that at the end of it. But first of all, let's welcome Brandon here, who'll take us through tonight's discovery session. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us live here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabby, and a heartfelt welcome to everyone here. And I always love hearing from you. So many of you wrote in some of your greatest challenges and some of the emotional issues you're facing, the physical issues, and I read every one of them. And I kind of bring that into the session so that we can kind of work with the issues that are actually coming up for you in life. And so many of you spoke about this fear of rejection and abandonment, and others of you spoke about a feeling of just low self-worth, that no matter how much work you did on yourselves, that it was still coming up for you, and you couldn't find your way home to feeling a self-love and a self-acceptance. And still, there was one woman who was saying that she had metastasized cancer, breast cancer. And for 7 years, she'd been working with it with alternative methods successfully. And her husband had been supporting her through this intense journey that she was on. And 5 weeks ago, unexpectedly, he died. And suddenly, all of her support left. This was totally out of nowhere. He was the one that died. And so she's just swirling in the emotions that are here. And even though she has supportive family, is how do you cope with that kind of painful, unexpected tragedy in such a circumstance where you're already coping with cancer? Another woman with rectal cancer was saying that, she's done a lot of work with herself, and she's actually quite good at forgiving other people, but she still can't get to the root of what the emotional issues are. And she feels some sadness, some hurt, but she's not really fully completing. And so tonight's session is really about what Gabby said, is how even your most painful emotions can lead you to deep peace and healing in your life. And one of the things that science has found, that when we feel a strong emotion and we repress it, it releases into your bloodstream a quantifiable biochemistry, which will go to certain cell receptors and block them, rendering those cells incapable of communicating with the rest of the cells in the body. And if over time illness happens, well, of course it happens, where the cells are blocked. What's conversely also known to be true is that when we feel our emotions very naturally and freely, like a child does, our cell receptors remain open. And so the unfortunate thing is that most of us have fear of feeling our painful emotions. We've gotten very skilled at, feel a strong emotion, come up, smoke it away, drink it away, take substances to get away from it, call a friend, get on Netflix, surf the web. And we're distracting ourselves. We're sweeping it under the carpet. We're reframing ourselves, saying it's not that big a deal. I'll think positively. And whenever we do that, when a strong and painful emotion comes, when we deny it, when we shut it down, when we sweep it under the carpet, distract ourselves from it, what happens is at that moment, when we shut it down, that biochemistry is released and it goes to specific cellular locations. And before the next cell generation, when that cell generation dies, it actually passes on that programming, that consciousness, the pain you went through, all the words you didn't express, all of that programming gets passed on to the next cell generation. And so the next cell generation is born as an exact replica of the previous cell generation. And so this whole pattern of buried pain, where we didn't have the coping skills, I mean, none of us were given a manual. How do you deal with something like your husband dying 5 weeks ago when you're in the midst of struggling with metastasized cancer? How do you deal with that? No one gave us a manual. And the natural tendency is just to shut down. And so these patterns, these old cell memories, this buried pain gets passed on from one cell generation to the next. And very often, then later on in life, it can end up showing up as illness. As a matter of fact, there's 3 hospitals in Israel where they have recovery programs. In one hospital, they specialize in heart disease. And after you've undergone your heart treatment, you go into a recovery center for a week long, and you will go through the journey process where you'll literally go on a journey inside your body to get to certain cellular locations, to get access to these buried cell memories, to go through a deep process of release and letting go and forgiveness, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old programming as new regenerative cells. And this is also true. They have one hospital that specializes in oncology, cancer treatment. And again, after you've received your treatment, you go into the recovery center and you
Oops, I think Brandon has just had a little technical glitch. I hope she'll be straight back, so please bear with us. Um, I'll try and catch her, so apologies for that. That does normally not happen. We have Brandon back. She's in the room. Perfect. Chris, can you see Brandon?
Spotlighted her.
Okay. I can't see her yet. I know she's in the room. I've got Team Chris back up as the large screen here.
I've spotlighted her, but I don't think she's back yet.
She is. If you and she's muted at the moment.
There we go.
Here we are. Perfect.
I dropped out twice there. And so what?
Brandon, can I ask, are you on the right internet? Because it shows as red. Okay.
Yeah. Oh dear, I'm really sorry about this tonight. I usually have excellent internet. And if you'll just stay with me, this has never happened before in all the years of doing this, that 3 times it drops out. But as I was saying, that the journey is a method that takes you on a journey inside your body to get to those cell memories that are stored inside, to clear them out at a physical level, an emotional level, at a spiritual level, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. And if I had to say, what is the journey really in a nutshell? The best way I could describe it is to say that we, all of us, come into this world as this radiant, shining diamond, as this vast field of love, where we feel ourselves to be part of and in everything, as an enlightened awareness that's pervading all of existence. As a matter of fact, science has found that when you are born and in the first weeks of your life, the infant feels itself to be this vast field of oneness, of connectedness with everything. As a matter of fact, when mother's hand comes before an infant's eyes, the infant actually feels mother's hand as being part of itself. And unfortunately, through the course of life's pains and trials, this vast field of awareness, of love, of feeling one with everything, this vast field of peace, it gets covered over with a series of shutdowns and pains and traumas and stress, limitations. And when we get to be adults, we cover the whole mess over with this polished mask that we present to the world, where we're saying to the world, no, I'm an adult, I've got it all handled. And then we wonder why it is. Everyone thinks we're so full of, well, you can answer that. And then if you get to be very lucky, life gives you a wake-up call. Now, it can come in the form of a serious illness. It can come in the form of a crisis, a loss of a loved one. It can come in the form of a divorce, war that's going on, where for a moment you decide it's time to get real. And you crack through this mask that you've been presenting to the world. And spontaneously, you end up opening down through the layers of the pain, the lies, the shutdowns, the hurt, the traumas. And spontaneously, you end up opening into this vast field of love, of oneness. This field of awareness where you feel yourself to be part of everything, all of life. And you realize it's been there all along. Only like me, you lost sight of it and you bought into all the layers that covered it. I can remember when it can be something very simple, like what happened to me when I was 3 or 4 years old and I was crying about something. And my mother said to me, come on, we got to dry your tears. We've got to get to nursery school. And suddenly, as a young kid, you get it. You're not allowed to feel, at least not those feelings that have the tears. And the first involuntary automatic shutdown happens. I can remember when I was around 8 years old, I grew up in a very domestically challenged household. And part of the way I used to escape was into my children's books. And I used to love reading. And I became a good reader and a good speller. And I got chosen for a very stupid contest that we have in the United States called the Spelling Bee. And this was a county-wide spelling bee where all the schools were coming together into this big auditorium, this stadium. And all the teachers, the parents, the students were all coming together from the entire county. And I was selected to represent the third graders from my school. And I can remember this so clearly. I was standing on stage and I'd already spelled 3 difficult words. And then they gave me one of the easiest words in the English language, the word fleet. But I'd not seen that word in any of my children's books. But I had seen the word flea, an insect. And I said, F-L-E-A-T? And the whole stadium was hushed. And then it just erupted into laughter. Now, no one had given me a manual. How do you deal with that kind of mass humiliation in front of your peers, your parents, students, teachers? And I looked at my mom, who was sitting in the third row, for her support. And she looked at me as if I was the greatest disappointment in her life and just shook her head and went like this. And it was like this internal wall just came slamming down inside of me. And I retreated to the back of the stage where the other losers were. And that day I decided, I'm so stupid. Everyone will only ever laugh at me. I'll never be good at anything I do. I'll never be competent in anything or achieve anything. I'm just too stupid. And it's like this, layer upon layer of shutdowns. I can remember at 16, I got my first crush on a boy and I tried to impress him. And you know how that is when you try to impress someone. And I ended up making a total fool of myself. And I watched the first love of my life running out of my life. And that day I decided, I'm so unattractive. I'm so unlovable. I'll never attract someone to love me. I'm just not worthy of love. I'm just not attractive. And it's like this, layer upon layer upon layer. And then we get to be adults and we cover the whole mess over. And we present this polished veneer to the world. And then life gives us that wake-up call. And we end up cracking through this mask, this phony mask that we've been presenting to the world. And spontaneously, we open down through the layers of the lies, the limitations, the pain, the trauma, the shutdowns. And then when we end up opening into our soul, into this vast field of love that is our essence, that we came in as, we realize it's been there all along. Only we bought into all those layers that covered it. And then if you get to be very lucky, you fall so in love with the truth inside yourself, with this light, this peace, that like me, you will do anything to clear whatever blocks you, whatever holds you back, whatever shuts you down on any level of being. So this radiant love that is your essence can live your life. And you'll be guided by this infinite intelligence, this part of you that makes your heart beat and your eyes shine and your hair grow on a journey inside your body to go to certain cellular locations, to uncover what's stored there, to release what's there, to understand what's taken place with you in your life, and ultimately to come to a place of forgiveness so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. And so even though I would love to take you through the whole of the journey tonight, it's not something that's possible because it's actually part of a 3-day immersive retreat called the Journey Intensive, where you really roll up your sleeves and you dive in and you go through the emotional journey and the physical journey and advanced skills, and you are really learning the tools from the inside out. But even though I cannot take you through all that teaching and that immersive retreat right now, I still would love to take you into a process, a closed-eyed process that I call the gentle welcome, where you can learn in almost baby steps how to go inside your body and befriend your emotions, to begin opening up and listening to what your body has to tell you, to really open with your body and get present with what the body has to say. So if you'd like to join me, you've got nothing to lose. Let's do a divine experiment here. Let's do this closed eye guided introspection. And so let's take a nice deep breath in, letting it out, and closing your eyes. And taking a deep breath in of openness and breathing that into the room. A deep breath in of the willingness to be open to whatever your body wants to reveal to you. Breathing that into the room. And trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in life. Trust that your soul wants you to heal. Breathing trust into the room. And letting your heart be as wide as the world. Wide enough to welcome all of the feelings that live inside of you. That's how vast this vast open sky of all acceptance is. And it's vast and spacious, free and endless in front of you. Boundlessly spacious and free behind. It's endlessly spacious and free to all sides of you. And it's just this vast, open field. Wow. And now turning your gaze inside the body. And you already know this, that your own body is full of all kinds of emotions. And you know our feelings, they're like little kids. Some of our feelings, they're loud and they're attention seeking. Others of our emotions, they're kind of shy and scared of us. And others of your feelings, you've rejected them so many times that, like a rejected child, they don't even come up anymore. They hide underneath lids and closed doors. And so putting out a heartfelt welcome to all the feelings that live here. And you might even say you're sorry that you weren't willing to feel, to be present, to be open to what's here. And then locating an area of your body right now that might feel like it's got a little tension or stress or holding or hiding going on, or perhaps contraction. Just find that area right now where there may be a little tension or contraction going on. locate that area. And taking a deep breath in of acceptance, and now flooding that area with acceptance, letting it soften right now, and open that area. And if there were a feeling beginning to arise out of that area, I wonder what that feeling might be. It might be as quiet as a whisper. It might be strong, but just welcoming whatever's here and whatever's not here. If a little child came to you and said, I'm scared, I hurt, you take that child into your arms and say, it's okay. We all feel hurt sometimes. We all get scared sometimes. And just welcoming whatever's here, whatever's not here. And if this area could speak and you gave it a voice right now, and it had words, what would this part of your body say? And as you listen to those words, how do they make you feel emotionally? Just giving this part of your body a voice. How does it make you feel emotionally? Or perhaps a picture is showing up. If there is, step into it. How does it make you feel emotionally as you step into the picture, if there's a picture? Or maybe it feels like there's a lid over this area. And imagining that there is a lid right now. And the same way you would lift the lid off a can of peanuts, taking hold of this lid and lifting it off right now. What's hiding here? Just welcoming whatever's here, whatever's not here. And taking a deep breath in of acceptance. And flooding this area with acceptance. And now coming to neutral inside of yourself. And finding a different area of your body where there may be little tension or stress or holding or hiding or contraction going on. And breathing that into that area. Breathing acceptance into that area. Letting it soften and be tenderized and open. And if there were a feeling beginning to arise out of that area, I wonder what that feeling might be. It might be quiet, it might be strong. Just allowing whatever feeling is here to come up. And if this feeling had words and could speak, what would it say right now? Give it a voice. And as you listen to those words, how do they make you feel emotionally? Just welcoming whatever's here and also whatever's not here. Or if a picture's showing up, step into the picture. How are you feeling in that picture? Or perhaps there is a lid. Take hold of that lid now and lift it off. What's hiding here? Just welcoming whatever's here, whatever's not here. Taking a deep breath in of acceptance and flooding that area with acceptance. And coming to neutral now. And then locating yet a third area where there may be a little tension or stress or holding or hiding, some sort of contraction going on. Locate that area and take a deep breath in of acceptance, flooding that area with acceptance, letting it soften and be marinated and tenderized, opened up. And if there were a feeling arising out of that area, what might it be? This area could speak, and you gave it a voice, and it had words. What would it say right now? How does it make you feel emotionally? Or if a picture's here, step into it. How are you feeling in the picture? Or perhaps some sort of door is here. Opening that door right now. What's hiding here? Just welcoming whatever's here, whatever's not here. Nothing to fix, just this welcoming, this listening, this being present to your own self. And taking a deep breath in of acceptance, flooding the body with acceptance, coming to neutral. And if it feels appropriate, you might like to say to your body that you're going to start being present. You're going to start listening. You're going to start opening with the emotions that live here and wholly welcome them and be present to them. So if that feels appropriate, you might like to make that promise to your own self. Taking another nice deep breath in, letting it out. And another nice deep breath in. And sighing it out. And the awareness remains vast, spacious, infinite, and free in front of you. Boundlessly spacious behind. Infinite to all sides of you. Just resting, soaking, steeping in this vast field. And taking another nice deep breath in. And sighing it out. And another nice deep breath in. And sighing it out. And you can open your eyes now into this vast field of presence that is here. And even with your eyes open, let your awareness remain open, spacious, vast, and free in front of you. Even with your eyes open, let your presence be open and spacious behind, and infinitely free and endless to all sides of you. And just resting here with eyes open in this vast field of awareness, of love. Some of you, this was just a little divine experiment to begin this opening with your emotions, to begin opening with your body, to begin this process of starting to listen to the body. And some of you may have had a very subtle experiment. Others of you may have had quite strong emotions come up. And I'd love to hear what emotions came up for you. If you'd be willing to type them into the chat box, Gabby will read them back so that all of us can hear. And so for some of you, this was the first time you really made it okay for emotions to be here. And these emotions are actually the gateway to your own soul, to the love that is your essence, to the peace inside. And so if you had a strong emotion come up and you'd be willing to share what that was, if you'll write that into the chat box, and Gabby will begin sharing what
They're
you're
already
writing.
coming in, Brandon. It's loneliness, anger, helplessness, painful hopelessness, sadness, fury, not good enough,
Wow.
deadly fear and loneliness, deep sadness, fear, sadness, no voice, sadness again.
Wow. A lot of strong emotion coming for people.
Guilt, helplessness again. Yeah.
Yeah.
More fear.
Well, I feel if something strong came up.
Shame, vanity, frustration.
Wow. It's a lot of strong emotion here. And I feel like if your body is communicating, it's really communicating loudly right now. And it really is an invitation, not from me, but from your own soul, that it's time now to begin your journey with your body, with your soul. Really uncover what's stored inside your cells, and really not only uncover, but go through full-on journey process work to get to the emotional root cause of what's stored there, and go through this deep process of healing so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. And with all my heart, I pray that you will heed this call home from yourself, and that somehow you'll find your way to a journey intensive. And they're happening online all around the world. And this November 19th through 19th, 20th, and 21st, we're having the 3-day immersion. And what takes place in there It's an online event where I start by giving you the teachings, but then I take you into guided introspections and deep process work. And in the afternoon, you get partnered up with somebody and you go into a breakout room and you go through deep one-to-one process work. And what's amazing is you have the support, the embrace of our journey practitioners holding the embrace there. So if anything comes up, you're not sure what's going on, you raise your hand and there will become someone who's gone through the whole year-long training of Journey Practitioners program, and they will be there to support you through this deep and liberating work. And so on the first day, we're going through the emotional journey where we're going down through the layers and opening into our own souls. And the second days, we're going on the physical journey into specific cell memories and learning how to really go through that profoundly healing process. And on the third day, at the advanced skills workshop, we're learning all the advanced skills, so that my prayer is that not only do you have this huge wash clean where you feel healed and liberated and like you've finally come home to who you are, but that you have a set of tools that you can take now into your life and you can use it with your children, with your family members, with yourself and your friends and your loved ones. And you can help them take the lampshade off their lights and help them begin discovering the love inside, the peace that is here, the joy that is available. And so I pray that somehow you can make it there. And I know that Gabby can share with you more about that happening. But if you feel something strong came up for you, I really do believe it is your soul calling you home to begin your own healing journey. And so I'm passing you over to Gabby, and she can share with you about upcoming journey intensives here in Europe and Australia, and also happening in January. And so until we do meet again, a heartfelt namaste to everyone.
Thank you so, so much, Brandon, for this beautiful discovery session, for guiding us through our bodies and how and where we're storing emotion. And quite a few questions, or well, a few questions have popped up. I'll get back to, I would love to answer those. But just another invitation. So the Journey Intensive actually takes place, is the final one of 2023 next weekend. It's in English language. It's on the European time zone, on the Australian Asian time zone. And on the European time zone, we translate into French, into German, and into Czech language, which means you get all of the Brandon's teaching sessions, all of our co-host sessions in your language, just like you were choosing here during this evening. Being online means you are doing the seminar in the same way as we did it when we did it live in a seminar hall, but you are in the comfort of your own home. You don't need to travel. You don't need to go anywhere. You're in a safe place. And what we have actually found is that there is a greater openness, a greater willingness for people to go after whatever has blocked them, whatever has prevented them from opening into their healing potential, into the greatness, the love that they are. And while I'm saying this, I also want to actually come to Alette, who asked a question and said, when the loneliness got a little bit less during the meditation, does it mean I'm already healing? What it actually means is when we stay present to an emotion, we're starting to open and already opening into an emotion that's underneath it, a different emotion, a different layer. And what happens if we really continue to open with these layers? We open into the infinite presence of our true self, the true essence, this universal love that is known by, goodness gracious, 1,000 names. But that is one of the most profound experiences in my world that the Journey Intensive offers. And you get that on day 1 of the Journey Intensive. And then on day 2, we go after cellular memories that may be stored somewhere inside the body. And as Brandon said, get passed on from cell generations to cell generation. We have journey practitioners there to support you during that weekend. It all happens in Zoom. We have breakout rooms. It's a very, very supportive environment, and it works. Is it any less because it's online? Absolutely not. I sometimes feel we have more success in this format than we had in a live environment. I don't know why that is, but maybe it's because we are at home and we are free to expose and feel whatever is going on for us. So I can highly recommend it. We also have a very, very reasonable price for the Journey Intensive. It's less than half of what we had to charge when we were in a live seminar room. And we're doing this because we really want people to get these tools, especially at times like now, when there are so many challenges, when we're confronted with all sorts of issues. Then to have the Journey tools in your home, in your toolbox, in your family is absolutely priceless. So for 247 euros, you get the full 3-day Journey Intensive. And that is something that stays with you for the rest of your life. So I can highly recommend it. We do have these events going on also in the new year, starting again from February. And if you want to join us, if you can join us next weekend, so 18th to the 20th. The 20th is a Monday, so it's Saturday, Sunday, and the 3rd day, it is kind of a bonus day. We call it a bonus day. And the bonus day, most people stay for it because we're teaching advanced skills. And very often, and for many people on the 3rd day, there's the big crack, the big breakthrough. So you can do it in your own time, but you can also stay with the group and do it as a 3rd day. So whatever works. If you can't take the 3 days because of work commitments, then that is an opportunity for you. But day 1 and 2 is Saturday, Sunday. So that's the way it's been designed. There was another question. How long does it take to heal? Somebody asked. That question is absolutely individual. Sometimes for someone, it may take one process, like Brandon's husband was suffering from severe depression pretty much most of his life. And he did one journey process and depression left him from that day. And for some others, it's more process work, it's ongoing work. I've been doing this work for 27 years. I still do journey processes today on a fairly regular basis. And life brings issues, and so whenever something arises that makes me feel, I'm just wondering, it's there, so it's not about arriving at the destination, it's enjoying the journey and feeling and being lighter, enjoying or being the joy that's inherent inside of us without having to make it up, without having to pretend that we're happy or that we think or say that everything is okay. So this is what's on offer. And I couldn't think of a better offer than spending 247 euros to feel or get on your path to waking up, to healing, to coming home to yourself. So I've also promised at the beginning that we would give one place free. I did a little blind lottery halfway through, and I have chosen the winner already. And I believe, going by the name, this lady is from the Netherlands, and her name is Helene van Dongen. So Helene, if you're still here, can you please send an email to support@thejourney.com, and I will also get our team to write to you. So Sarah will write to you, Helene. I just want to make sure that everybody's on. I've got it listed here, so I'll follow up with our team. Do I know when in January? I haven't got it right in front of me, but if you go on the journey.com homepage, you've got all the dates for the next few months. So everything is there all the time. What time does it start in the morning? We are starting on Central European time, 10 o'clock. And that gives us, that's a fairly good time because people from the UK, it's not quite so early to get started. So we have kind of a 3-hour time span across Europe. And I believe we start at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we usually finish by about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. Earlier on the Sunday and the Saturday, depends how your processes go. But it's a beautiful, supported event. It feels very live. It feels very connected with all of our team there. So I hope you can make it, and I hope we see you at the next Journey Intensive. I think I've said everything. We're translating. I told you the money. I told you that you are supported, and whatever issue it is that you are struggling with, stop it now. Don't take it into 2024. Leave it behind in 2023 for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your partners, for your friends. Whatever we're doing on ourselves, I always feel we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for everyone. Somehow, when we have the courage to let go of something, it triggers other people to do the same, or gives other people the courage to do the same. And so maybe that's our role, to kind of make a contribution to a greater healing place in the world. The world certainly needs it. Thank you so much for staying with us tonight. Thank you, and I hope we see you soon. And until then, God bless, namaste, and good evening. Bye-bye.
My biggest win with the journey was being able to access my deepest emotions and free myself from them. I feel more calm and serene.
I found my true calling, and now today I can help others. I love to make an impact. I love to see transformation in others' lives.
For years and years, I used to feel very lonely, and now I just feel a part of everything. I feel I'm alive.
My biggest win with joining the practitioner program is owning my own life back and stepping out of a severe PTSD.
The acceptance of myself and the self-love, so I don't need others to love me. That's perfectly okay.
Life is different now because of joining the journey, because I just live in so much abundance. I get up every day with a joy for living. I want to go to work. I want to meet other people.
My biggest win was the really deep knowing I actually do have the answers. They are within me.
There is a lot more certainty and openness into where I'm heading and how I'm feeling about things.
I feel more connected to life. It's not an easy path for anyone to do healing work, but it's profound.
1, I'm more balanced. 2, I'm more grateful for those persons who helped me in this life. I enrich my life every day with this wisdom.
It's priceless. There's no better, bigger investment we can do in time, money, or energy.
I was a mess before I started with this work, and I healed from lots of different types of abuse, and that's a miracle.
My life now, because of the journey, is transformed. I have confidence. Even if I struggle, it's just I have to let go. It's step after step, and it's no danger at the end.
My biggest win is myself. It doesn't have to be anything else. You can be fulfilled even if you only have yourself.
It's more peaceful. I've learned to process emotions. I learned to be more self-aware, and I've learned when you need to ask for help.
I've been able to have a really deep, long, soulful look at myself, and I've been able to uncover, recover, and heal long-term wounds.
My biggest win being a journey practitioner has been becoming a therapist and a healer, because that's what I never ever imagined it to be.
I'm living from a place of freedom and choice. I'm really
conscious in every moment. Any sentence I say, it's coming from the just pure goodness.
I feel more authentic, wearing much less of a mask. It's about being you and feeling good about it.
I can embrace all that is. I'm here to share my life, my joy. Now I can just be me.
My own journey of healing from cancer is an inspiration for others. I get to work with amazing people, see amazing transformations in their life.
My biggest win is to be yourself. Just be there for other people, to help other people heal, and just to be there.
I know that no matter what comes, I have the right instrument to deal with whatever emotions every situation will bring to me.
It really has helped me come back to a place of wholeness. I feel like completely authentic. I feel genuine. I feel like I'm in my body.
My big win is my courage and my physical healing, my emotional healing. But in one word, I could say freedom.
The journey is all about releasing all of the emotions that create the illness. I was healed physically within 6 weeks while I had been in pain over 3.5 years.